Hello students, this is Mandeep Alexander, your physics teacher at LFS Gila, and I am teaching this chapter. Many of you are knowing, if you are watching my video, many of you are knowing I am teaching this chapter in school. That is the chapter of units and measurement. It is the second chapter of our class 11th physics. Okay, it is the second chapter of class 11th physics. So in that today what I taught in the school, that is today is 12th of July 2021, we talked about application of dimension equations. Okay, we talked about the application of dimensional equations. Last time we have seen the types of the physical quantities, and we have classified physical quantities into different types, and we also talked about what dimension formulas of different physical quantity. And today what we will be doing, we will be talking about the applications of dimensional formulas or dimensional equation. Okay, so some of the formulas that we have already discussed in our class, on the basis of those formulas only we will be seeing its application. Okay, we will be seeing its application in different areas of physics. Okay, so the first application which we see is to check the correctness of the equation. Okay, the first application is to check the correctness of an equation. Okay, any equation has been given to us, and we just need to rectify whether that given equation, we need to just rectify whether the given equation is correct or not, and on the basis of the dimensional formulas which we know already. Okay, I am considering those of you who are watching the video that you all have studied the dimension formulas of different physical quantity. I have taught everything in detail, and from today I will be making a regular video for schools, and I will be posting it on the school portal. Okay, so the first thing what we have started today on this according to this chapter 2 of units and measurement is the application. Okay, we have discussed many things in our class. Okay, but after that also, if you people are having doubts, those who are new, who are watching the video, may ask something, and after that in the live class during the session in my school I will clarify every basic things what we have studied. Okay, so today how to check the correctness of any equation. If it has been asked just to verify and just to tell that whether the given equation is correct or not, then how we can conclude that whether this given equation is correct. Okay, so this is a question mark in front of everyone. So for suppose here is one very important formula, there is one very important theory, one can say, which help us to verify whether the given equation is correct or not, and that is the principle of homogeneity. And that principle of homogeneity tells that any physical entity which has been present in that equation of physics may satisfy some characteristic, may satisfy some properties. For example, we have studied about the units, of the physical quantities, and we have assigned certain symbols to those units of fundamental physical quantity. There are total 7 fundamental physical quantities. Okay, and we have assigned certain symbols to study dimensions. Okay, to study dimensions we have assigned certain symbol to those units of physical quantities, and according to the principle of homogeneity, the entity which is present, okay, any equation which has been written, for example, any equation has been written in the form of LHS and RHS, there may be some equation on the left hand side, and there may be some equation on the right hand side. There may be some physical quantity on the left hand side, and there may be some physical quantity on the right hand side. Okay, in any formula which has been given to us, which is satisfying the physical law. So those terms, those physical quantities may be having some units on the LHS as well as on the RHS, and the units are mainly presented in terms of m, l and t. Okay, there are certain symbol of mass, there is certain symbol of length, there is certain symbol of time, and those units are expressed in terms of what? Those symbols that have been shown by the bracketed term. Okay, last time when I took the lecture, in my school. In that I have shown that I have given certain symbols, and those symbols are shown by the bracketed term. In that bracket I use just specific alphabet, okay, corresponding to the fundamental quantity. Okay, I have used the certain alphabets. Let me show that any physical quantity which is expressed, or any physical units which is expressed in LHS and RHS are expressed in terms of M, L and T, and according to the definition of dimension, we better know that dimensions are the powers. Dimension are the powers to which the fundamental units are raised. Okay, dimensions are the powers to which the fundamental units are raised. So if this is the fundamental unit of mass, I am assigning the symbol for mass. This is the fundamental unit of mass. I am denoting the fundamental unit of mass by bracketed M term, and the fundamental unit of length I am representing is at bracketed L term, and similarly the fundamental unit of time I am representing it as bracketed T term, like this. Okay, all the seven fundamental units I have discussed in the last lecture. So these are the main important fundamental units which will be used to express any of the physical quantity. Okay, so if here is any physical quantity, then it may be having some term in terms of M, L and T, and we better know that if there is some dimensions also, if there is some dimension in mass, if there is some dimension in length, if there is some dimension in time, then the principle of homogeneity says it can be expressed like this. Okay, it can be, length can be expressed as this, maybe this may be any arbitrary number, I don't know. Okay, I am just assuming. So I am naming this as A1, B1 and C1. So A1 is the dimension of the mass parameter, and similarly B1 is the dimension for the length parameter, and C1 is the dimension for the time parameter on the left hand side. Similarly on the right hand side, any physical quantity may be expressed in terms of M, L and T, and let us assume this M on the right hand side has a power of A2, L on the right hand side has a power of B2, and this has a power of C2. Okay, so the principle of homogeneity says if this equation is correct, then the respective term on the left hand side and the right hand side has the same power. That means the respective term, if I am talking about M, so the power of M on the left hand side should be equal to the power of M on the right hand side. In the same way, the power of L on the left hand side should be equal to the power of L on the right hand side. In the same way, the power of T on the left hand side should be equal to the power of T on the right hand side. So we can conclude that A1 should be equal to A2, and B1 should be equal to B2, and C1 should be equal to C2. This is what the principle of homogeneity says. As it can be written as, the theory can be given for the principle of homogeneity. That says the dimensions of all the terms on the both sides of the equation, the dimension of, or we can say the powers of principle of homogeneity says, I am writing the principle of homogeneity as POH. This is not my main thing, I am just using the principle of homogeneity to verify the correctness of an equation. So it says dimensions of the physical quantity. Okay, the dimensions of, it says that the dimension of all the terms, terms means I am talking about M, L and T, that are the fundamental units. Okay, I am talking about the fundamental unit, respective fundamental unit of all the terms, or better to say respective term on both the side, of an equation should be same. Okay, so that I have written what I have explained, and this is the principle of homogeneity. I am writing as principle of homogeneity as POH. I am not writing the full form. Okay, so this will help us to verify whether the given equation is correct or not. Okay, so let's erase everything and let's talk something more about these factors. For example, we have been given, let us assume that we have been given certain equation, and that equation tells us that the kinetic energy is equals to the potential energy. Okay, kinetic energy I have denoted by k dot t, and potential energy is p dot t. And we better know if a body of mass m moves with a velocity v in certain specific direction, and if the potential in a body of same mass has been raised to a certain height, then the kinetic energy formula and potential energy formula can be written as half mv square. This is the formula of kinetic energy. Okay, and the same way the potential energy expressed as mgh. Okay, where m is the mass of the body, v is the velocity of the body. Okay, m is the mass of the body on the right hand side, g is the acceleration due to gravity. G is the acceleration due to gravity which is acting on that body which has been raised to a certain height of h. This is the height to which a body has been raised. Okay, so what happens if we apply the dimensions here? Since we know, if we are applying the dimension, if we are having the knowledge of dimension formula and we are applying it here, then we better know this is a constant term and it is simply dimensionless. Okay, and this is a mass parameter, this is a physical quantity. Okay, this is a physical quantity that it may be having some numerical value and unit with it. Okay, because any physical quantity is expressed as a numerical value into unit. Okay, this is any physical quantity which is expressed as a numerical value, and the multiplication of unit is given in it. Okay, for example, if we are talking about 2 kg mass, then we are writing up like this: 2 kg, where 2 is what? A numerical value, and kg is the unit of mass. So here we are talking about the dimension formula, and dimension formula has a main role with its unit, with the unit of mass, with the unit of velocity. It has a main role with the unit of the physical quantity. So if we are using the dimensions on the left hand side, then this simply has no contribution. 1 by 2 has no contribution in terms of m, l and t. It has no fundamental unit in terms of m, l and t. Okay, so we are considering the fundamental unit of mass, and that we better know is represented by what? It is represented by bracketed m term. Okay, and this gets multiplied with the velocity term. Velocity, the dimension formula of velocity is L t to the power minus 1, and it has been raised to a power 2 because velocity has been squared. Okay, this is the dimension formula that we have derived in our previous lecture, also in our class 2. And now if you totally combines, then the results comes out to be how much? M L square, because square gets in, and t to the power minus 2. So this is the required dimension formula on the left hand side. Let's try to analyze the dimension formula on the right hand side also. So for RHS, what we can write? For RHS we can write that it is equals to mgh. Mass has the contribution of bracketed m term. Okay, and similarly g has a contribution of what? L t minus 2. Okay, and h is measured simply in length parameter. Okay, it has a length parameter with it. Length it has been measured with the meter scale. It can be measured with a meter scale, or it can be measured by any measuring instrument which measures the length. So it has a length parameter. And now when these formulas combine, it gives a dimension formula of m l square. Here the power of 1, here the power of 1. So it gets squared because the base is same, the power gets added. Okay, t to the power minus 2. So we can conclude from here, if we are talking about LHS term and RHS term, we can see the principle of homogeneity is totally fulfilled. Okay, the principle of homogeneity is fully satisfied because the power of m is 1 in this case, the power of m is 1 on the RHS also. The power of L is what? 2 in this case on the left hand side, and the power of L is 2 on the right hand side also. Powers are what? Powers are simply dimension that I told. Okay, that I have explained everything in the classroom. And from now onwards, I will be explaining further. And the power of t is equals to the power of t on the right hand side. So we can conclude that the dimensions on both the sides. We can conclude from here? We can conclude what? Dimensions on both the sides of an equation respective term, or better to say that of respective term. Okay, better to say we are talking about the dimension of respective terms, of respective terms are same. Okay, that means the principle of homogeneity is completely satisfied, and we can say, thus we can say the given equation is correct. Given equation is correct. Okay, so whatever will be the expression which will be given to us on the basis of the knowledge of dimension formulas, we can easily evaluate or rectify that whether the given equation is correct or not, whether these are satisfying the dimension formulas or whether this is satisfying the principle of homogeneity on both the sides. So if they satisfy such condition, then we can say the given equation is correct. So this is the first application of dimensional equation. Okay.